Hello students, this is Nishanti from Ponvidyashram. Welcome back to the next physics class. This is part 3 on motion in a straight line. Students, these are the topic we have discussed in the last session: instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity, acceleration, uniform acceleration, kinematical graphs, equations of motion for uniformly accelerated motion. In this session, we are going to see motion equation under gravity, relative velocity. Students, now we'll see what are the equations of motion of an object under gravity. Okay. Listen, when an object is thrown upward or fall towards the earth, its motion is called motion under gravity, because in this conditions the acceleration of the body is equal to the acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration is nothing but we used to denote as a. So this a is nothing but which is equal to the acceleration due to gravity g. Okay, see, in this cases of motion under gravity, the equations of motions will be written as, see, first case, imagine when an object is falling freely towards the ground. So this a will be, acceleration will be denoted as acceleration due to gravity g, right? So look at this equation. This is your first equation, v equal to u plus gt. Okay, so what we did, simply we changed a as g. And look at the second equation, s equal to ut plus half at squared. So what we did, in place of s we replaced as h, because we are dealing with height of the object. Okay, the height traveled by the object. So h equal to ut plus half gt squared again. And look at the third equation, v squared equal to u squared plus 2gh. Okay, so these are the three equations when an object falling freely under gravity. So what we are taking, a, we are considering a as g. Simple, right? Okay students, now let's see, if a body is projected vertically upward from a point A with velocity u. Okay, so we are going to throw some object from point A to point B. Okay, so we are throwing upward, in upward direction. Is that clear? Then what will be your gravity? Gravitational acceleration, right? So here gravitational acceleration will be negative. Why? Because we are throwing an object which is in the direction opposite to the direction of your gravity. See, this is your direction of your gravity towards the earth, right? So we are throwing an object which is against the gravity. So we are considering gravitational acceleration as negative. So if you substitute g as negative g, this is your equations. V equal to u minus gt, h equal to ut minus gt squared, v squared equal to u squared minus 2gh. Okay, is that clear? And look at your fourth point. When it reaches the maximum height from A, its velocity will be 0. Okay, so when it reaches the maximum height, for a small time, for an instant time, right, your final velocity will be 0. Then after this time, it will again fall down. Is that clear? Due to the gravity. Okay, for a small time, it will be at rest. Object will be at rest at the maximum height. Okay, then what is the, this happen when t equal to u by g. Okay, so how we will calculate this time equal to u by g? So what is your first equation? Listen, v equal to u minus gt, isn't it? This is your first equation. So what I told, when it reaches the maximum height, your final velocity will be 0 for a small time. Okay, so once you substitute v as 0, the remaining term will be u equal to gt. Okay, then what is t? T equal to u by g. Is that clear now? Okay, right. So this is your fourth point. Then look at the fifth point, the maximum height reached. What is the maximum height reached by a body? What is the maximum height reached by the body? So how we will calculate this h value? So look at the third equation. From the third equation, v squared equal to u squared minus 2gh. Is that clear? So what I told you, for a small time, final velocity will be 0. Okay. Then what will be your remaining term? U squared equal to 2gh. Then what is the h? What is your h value? H is equal to u squared divided by 2g. Is that clear? So this is the maximum height reached by the body. Then look at the sixth subdivision, sixth equation. The total time to go up and return to the point of projection. Okay, so what is the total time of the travel? So from point A to point B, and again due to gravity it will obviously fall down, right? So what is the total time taken by the body? Okay, so from where we used to get? From your second equation of motion. Look at your second equation. H equal to ut minus half gt squared. So what is the total height? Okay, so it reaches the same point again. From point A to B, and after some time it reaches the point A again. It will reach the ground again, obviously. So height will be 0. We are calculating the total time, right? It reaches the ground after some time. So height will be considered. Height will be 0. Then the remaining term ut equal to half gt squared. Okay, then t cancelled. What you should find? T. So t equal to 2u divided by g. 2u divided by g. Is that clear to you? Right? So first three equations are very simple. Then 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6 equations we are derived from the first three equations. Okay. What is the maximum height reached by the body? H equal to u squared by 2g. What is the total time taken by the body? T equal to 2u by g. So like that we derived from the first three equations. And look at the seventh equation. At point C, somewhere at the middle of the travel. Okay, so at point C, between a point A and B, where AC equal to S. From point A to C. If you take this distance as S, what will be the velocity? Okay, so from third equation we have it won't be 0, right? So it's somewhere in the middle of the travel, so your final velocity won't be 0. At the maximum height for a small instant of time, your final velocity will be 0, but it won't be 0 at the middle of the travel. So v is equal to plus or minus square root of u squared minus 2gs. Okay, so why this plus or minus is given, right? If a body is traveling in upward direction, your v will be with plus sign. Okay, but if the body is traveling from point B to A, okay, if it crosses C in downward direction, then your velocity will be negative sign. Okay, right? Is that clear? So a velocity of a body while crossing C upward direction, then your velocity will be plus square root of u squared minus 2gs. But while crossing C downwards direction, then v equal to minus square root of u squared minus 2gs. Students, this is your next topic, relative velocity. Okay, relative velocity is a measurement of velocity of an object with respect to other observer. Okay, I repeat, relative velocity is a measurement of velocity of an object with respect to other observer. Okay, relative velocity of one object with respect to other object is the time rate of change of relative position of one object with respect to other object. What do you understand from this? See, it is very simple. Okay, so what is the time rate of change of relative position of one object? We are comparing the two objects, right? So rate of change of relative position of one object with respect to other object. So look at the equation. Relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. So what is the relative velocity? Relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. So it will be denoted as VAB. This is nothing but VA minus VB. Velocity of object A minus velocity of object B. Okay. So imagine when two objects are moving in the same direction. Look at the diagram. See, this is your first object, object A, and this is your object B. See, both the cars are moving in a same direction. Then what will be the relative velocity? VAB equal to VA minus VB. Is that clear? Right? So whenever both the objects are moving in the same direction, what will be your relative velocity? Relative velocity of object A with respect to object B is nothing but the difference between the two velocities, VA minus VB. Okay. And in similar way, what is the relative velocity of B with respect to A? VBA is equal to, yes, you are right, VB minus VA. Is that clear? And how you will relate both the things? So what is the relationship? VAB equal to minus of VBA. Okay. So what we are doing? We are just comparing both the velocities. So hope you understand this relative velocity. So what do you mean by relative velocity? Relative velocity of one object with respect to other object is the time rate of change of relative position of one object with respect to other object. Okay. So we saw what is the first case. First case we saw when two objects are moving in the same direction, what will be the relative velocity? Okay. So VAB equal to VA minus VB. Okay. And look at the second condition. When two objects are moving in opposite direction. So look at the second diagram. Both the cars are moving in opposite direction. So what will be the relative velocity? VAB equal to VA plus VB. VAB equal to VA plus VB. So both the velocities are added up. Okay. So I have given here a small example. The first car is moving with 25 meter per second and second car is moving with 35 meter per second speed velocity. So what will be the relative velocity? So 25 minus of minus 35. Why minus of minus 35? See, minus will be there in between always because we are comparing both the velocities, right? So VA is 25 minus VB is 35. So, but look at the direction of VB. It is moving opposite to the first object. Okay. Then 25 minus of minus 35. So, what will be the answer? The 60 meter per second. Now, students, we are going to see what are the position time graph depicting your relative velocities, right? So already we have discussed about the two conditions. Whenever two objects are moving in opposite directions, then your relative velocity will be added up. If both the objects are moving in the same direction, your relative velocity will be the difference between the two velocities. Is that clear? Now we'll see in graphical method. So look at the first graph. This is your object A and object B. both the objects are moving with the same velocity, that is VB equal to VA. Then what will be your relative velocity? VBA, that is relative velocity of object B with respect to A, or the second one, relative velocity of object A with respect to B. Both will be equivalent to 0. Okay, both are moving in the same direction with the constant speed, right? Then two objects seems to be stationary for one another. You may experience this criteria when you are traveling in a train, right? So both the objects seems to be stationary for one another, but both the trains are moving with the same speed. Is that clear? Then look at the second graph. If the speed, the velocity of object A is greater than object B, right? Then magnitude of VBA and VAB will be lower than the magnitude of VA and VB. Object A appears faster to B and B appears slower to A, because the velocity of object A is more than the velocity of object B. Okay. Then look at the third graph. VA and VB of opposite sign. Both the trains are moving in opposite directions. Is that clear? Then magnitude of VBA, relative velocity of object B with respect to A, and object A with respect to B will be higher than the magnitude of VA and VB. Relative velocity will be higher. Okay, in previous case, the velocity of object A and velocity of object B is higher than the magnitude of relative velocity, right? So, what we observed, both the objects will appear moving faster to one another. Okay, both the objects will experience faster to one another. Say for example, if the objects under consideration are two trains, then for a person sitting in either side, the other train seems to go very fast. Okay, even you may experience this also. And with this three graphs, we have one more condition. This I discussed you in previous slide. If both the objects A and B move along parallel straight lines in the opposite direction, then what will be the relative velocity? They are moving parallel straight lines in an opposite direction. Correct. Your relative velocity will be added up. Now, shall we see some example? Then you will understand relative velocity concept very clear. Okay, so look at the first thing. This is train A and this is train B. First train is moving with 100 km per hour. Second speed traveling with 70 km per hour in opposite directions. What will be the relative velocities? Okay. So as I told you, if both the objects are moving in opposite direction, what will be the relative velocity? Relative velocity will be added up. Okay, since both the objects are moving in opposite directions. Is that clear? So what will be the relative velocity? 170 km per hour. And look at the second example. If both the trains, object A and object B, both are traveling in a same direction. One is with 100 km per hour. Second one is with 70 km per hour. What will be the relative velocity? Yes. So relative velocity will be the difference between the two velocities. So what is VAB? VAB means what? Relative velocity of object A with respect to B. So what is VAB? What is the formula? VAB equal to VA minus VB, isn't it? So what is VA? 100 km per hour and VB is 70 km per hour. Okay. Then what is the relative velocity? Yes, you are correct. 30 km per hour. This is your first relative velocity. That is relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. And look at the second thing. Relative velocity of object B with respect to object A. Object B with respect to object A. So what is the formula? VB minus VA. So substitute your values. VB is 70, VA is 100. So minus 30 km per hour. This is your second relative velocity. Is that clear? Then look at the third example. Both the objects are moving in a same speed, same velocity, 100 km per hour. Another object B is also traveling in 100 km per hour speed. Then what is the relative velocity? Both are in same direction means you have to subtract. Same direction means subtract. Opposite direction means add. Right? Then 100 minus 100, 0 km per hour. See students, we have discussed two conditions. Okay, relative velocity with two conditions we discussed in previous slides. Okay, what is the first condition? If both the objects are moving in the same direction, what will be the relative velocity? And second case, if both the objects are traveling in the opposite direction, what will be the relative velocity? And this is your third case. If both the objects are moving at an angle, if there is some angle of inclination, what will be the relative velocity? Right? So, your relative velocity formula will be VAB equal to VA minus VB. Right? Then look at the figure. This is your relative velocity of object A. See, object A is traveling in this direction and object B in this direction, and there is an angle theta between these two objects. Okay, then what will be the relative velocity? Then redraw this graph. See, this is VB, VA, okay, and this is minus VB, right? And extend this graph like this. See, this is your O, Q, and this is R, and this is P dash. Okay, right? And VA bar is OQ. VB bar is OP. Now we superimpose velocity minus VB equal to OP dash, minus VB equal to OP dash on VB to find the relative velocity of object A on B, which is why object B is brought to rest and object A possesses two velocity VA along OQ minus VB along OP dash, inclined at an angle 180 minus theta. See, angle between these two is theta, then remaining term, the remaining angle will be 180 minus theta. The relative velocity is the resultant of velocities VA and VB acting at an angle 180 minus theta, which will be represented by the diagonal OR of the parallelogram OQ RP dash. Now we formed a parallelogram OQ RP dash. Is that clear? Then in magnitude, the relative velocity. So what is the magnitude VAB equal to? I think you may study this formula in trigonometry. Square root of VA squared plus VB squared plus 2VAB cos 180 minus theta. Right? So what is cos 180 minus theta? Cos theta. So this is your magnitude. This is very important for your numericals. VAB equal to square root of VA squared plus VB squared minus 2VA VB cos theta, right? And if VAB makes an angle beta with the direction of VAB, okay, see, this is your VAB. So if it makes an angle beta, then what is your beta? Tan beta. See, this tan beta, this beta will gives you the direction, okay? VAB will gives you magnitude. Tan beta will be giving you the direction, right? So tan beta equal to, right, VB sin 180 minus theta divided by VA plus VB cos 180 minus theta. What is sin 180 minus theta? Sin theta. Cos 180 minus theta? Cos theta. So VB sin theta divided by VA minus VB cos theta. Is that clear? Okay. So cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So your sign changes here, even here also. Look at the sign here. Your sign changes, no? Right? So above equation will give you the magnitude of the relative velocity and their direction. So three conditions we saw, students. One is if both the objects are moving in the same direction, then your relative velocity will be subtracted. If both the objects are moving in opposite directions, means your relative velocity will be added up. Then what is the third equation? If both the objects are moving at an angle of inclination theta, then what is the magnitude and direction? What is the magnitude? VAB equal to square root of VA squared plus VB squared minus 2VA VB cos theta. Then direction tan beta equal to VB sin theta divided by VA minus VB cos theta. Okay, a small points to remember about this relative velocity. What is the first point? The relative velocity is the time rate of change of relative position of one object with respect to another object. Then second point, if two objects are moving in the same direction, magnitude of relative velocity of one object with respect to other is equal to difference in magnitude of two objects, two velocities. And if two objects are moving in opposite directions, the magnitude of relative velocity of one object with respect to other is equal to the sum of the magnitude of their velocities. Students, in this video, we discussed what are all the equations of motion under gravity and relative velocity. In my next video, I'll discuss numericals with you. Thank you.